Hello guys, it is now the new year, and this is the 400th video of my channel. Coincidentally, I will soon have 400 subscribers, so I congratulate my subs for making that possible. And for this video special, we are going to do top 5 favorite movies. Now, anyone who knows me knows that movies are a big part of my life, and I'm very passionate about them, and just I like writing stories and all that. So top five favorite movies. You'd be very surprised to find out that Alpha and Omega is not in the top 5. So here we go. Number 5, which is Kung Fu Panda 2. Now, I'm a huge fan of Kung Fu Panda series. Not a big fan of number 3, but Kung Fu Panda 2 takes everything in Kung Fu Panda 1 and just expands upon it. So the story is so good. The animation, top notch for the time. 2011, I think it's when it came out. And just, oh my goodness, the music. And it's like, that's the thing about these movies, is that it's so hard to explain what I like about them, because it's just kind of the same. It's like everything from the animation, the lighting, the characters, everything is just so good, and it's one of the most underrated movies of all time. I don't remember who got the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, but Kung Fu Panda 2 should have been nominated if it wasn't. But yeah, probably the thing that I'm impressed about the most is the fact that the Furious 5 actually they sort of grow with Po, and it's like the makers didn't have to develop that, but they did, and this particular development shows a lot of maturity, and the fact that in the movie they talk about genocide, but it's like in this sort of, this PG way, but it's like it's still genocide, and that's how this movie works, is that it takes all these adult themes and makes it where a kid can watch. I mean, there's even this is part of the reason why I don't like Kung Fu Panda 3, is that it doesn't go darker. This movie goes Empire Strikes Back dark. Like, even the henchman bad guy, when he disobeys orders, he gets a freaking knife through his throat, and you don't see any blood, but that's what's implied. I don't understand why how a lot of people didn't see this movie. But yeah, Kung Fu Panda 2. Number 4 is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. And I still don't like that title. It should have been How to Train Your Dragon 3, but whatever. So I've been an even bigger fan of the How to Train Your Dragon series, and in that thing back there, I have every single How to Train Your Dragon, like, DVD or whatever that you can find. I have all episodes of the shows, all short films, including Homecoming, and all 3 movies. So I know this series almost inside and out. And what impresses me the most about How to Train Your Dragon is that it has such good, the idea of training dragons, and like there's like this sort of Pokemon realm where each dragon is so unique and has these different abilities and whatnot. That's what makes it. It's just so ingenious, and kind of like with Kung Fu Panda. Well, it does. How to Train Your Dragon 3 doesn't go as dark as Kung Fu Panda 2, but what I like about it is that it feels so adult, and that's kind of how I prefer kids movies. It's kids movies that treat kids like adults. Like, they actually want them to grow up and feel these kind of these real emotions. and How to Train Your Dragon 3. It is so mature. The animation is just probably the best that DreamWorks has ever come out of DreamWorks. And what's odd is that it was the first good DreamWorks movie that had come out in a long, long time. I mean, that'll be another video, but DreamWorks in the past, 5 years has been just, I don't know what happened. It's like, as soon as Home came out, so many terrible screenwriters, directors, whoever, just came in, I don't know what's going on at DreamWorks, but that was it's just kind of weird how we had Trolls, and then we had How to Train Your Dragon 3, completely different. It's like something switched on. Anyway, so very mature. It has just all these mature moments, like when you see Toothless flying in the air, and there's no dialogue when he's on his own. And it's just scenes like that elevate it. And of course, probably one of the most interesting things is that they leave their home, and it's just kind of fascinating to me how we actually go to a new location, and they don't it's not like the case of they escape their home only to come back later. No, they stay in this new place just because they want to. Even when the bad guy is defeated, they just want to stay in this new place because of how great it is. It fulfills your emotions so well, and it's such a great conclusion. I mean, the ending is flawless, and well, Homecoming kind of messed up the feelings of the ending a bit, but yeah, just one of the easily top 10 objectively good animated movies that has ever been made. Go see it if you have not seen it already. Number 3, Captain America: Civil War. So I'm also a big fan of the MCU, and I probably know that series more than probably any other series outside of Alpha and Omega. But Captain America: Civil War, easily the best MCU movie, and still is. I feel like the Captain America series in particular has probably been the best out of all the series within the MCU. Like you have Iron Man, Thor, and so on. Captain America: Civil War, it pretty much is Avengers 2.5, the movie. And I think for Robert Downey Jr. in particular, that was the best acting. At the time that I saw this, that was the best acting from him that I had seen so far in that series. I would think in Endgame that he would then outdo that. But at this point, this was his best acting. Of course, the story is just... The Russo brothers really amaze me at how they take these complicated storylines and they put them together almost flawlessly. It's just... I like to look back at the movie and look all the little details, all these little scenes, like the part where the bad guy is on his phone, and then you find out later that it's actually a recording because he's listening to his wife and children who are now dead, and it keeps coming back to that. And then you see all these other little details. This villain is so underrated, and I don't understand. He's the only one that left really a lasting impact outside of Thanos, but he's the only, and he's just a guy, and it's like how he's too good, and all the acting's great. I like all the characters, and Rhodey finally gets his time to shine because this is like the movie where he plays the most pivotal of roles, and well, another episode for another day. Spider-Man. For the Tom Holland Spider-Man, I still think that this is his best showing. People are really going to disagree with me on this, but Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home are some of my least favorite A, Spider-Man movies, and B, MCU movies, period. But when they first showed Tom Holland, I thought he was perfect. And that's probably because I had the mind going in that I knew that they weren't going to get into the backstory of Peter and all of this, and it was still him with his gadgets. He didn't have any outside of his eyes that move. He didn't have his robo suit that I hate, by the way. I don't think Spider-Man should be so automated. I always like Spider-Man because of his wits, and this is, to this day, this is still the funniest. This Civil War Spider-Man is still the perfect Spider-Man for me. Everything outside of that is just kind of mediocre. So there's that, and of course this is the first showing of Black Panther. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. So just so many. Oh, and the fight scenes. I mean, just for fist fights, I think this might be the best in the MCU too, when it comes to fist action. And just the way that, just even you have Bucky climb, what did he do? He took a railing, dropped down a spiral stairs, and just so he can, I think he like went out through a window. It's just so crazy. Just how these fight scenes are, just how the emotions build, and I guess that's the common theme of this series, is that everything is satisfying. Well, we'll get to number one, but everything is satisfying. Everything was fulfilled. Everything that I wanted to happen, happened. And things I didn't know I want, happened. So, Captain America Civil War. So, number 2 is Fox and the Hound. Bet you didn't see that one coming. But Fox and the Hound, again, very mature and kind of quiet, but I guess what kind of puts this so high, I mean, I feel like you're almost never going to capture that sort of 80s Disney animation where it's kind of sketchy. The thing that I like the most, maybe, would be the voice acting. I think Mickey Rooney is Todd. And the woman who played Vixie, I think she's the only voice actor who's still alive. But like, the voice acting is just so real, and you just really feel it. I mean, this is based off a book. I've never read the book, and if somebody has read the book, tell me how good it is. But it feels so mature. This is why I like animation so much, is that you can exemplify, you can amplify so many, you can amplify things that you want to amplify at the right time in such a way, like much more than you can do in live action. So when you see that Todd is near the fence post and he's like looking around and he starts to take in that his mother is gone, you really feel that going in, and then you feel the tension between Amos and the woman taking care of Todd. And oh my goodness, that scene when Todd's in the car with the old woman and she's driving, and you see look at the look on their faces. I mean, they're just so torn up. It's just, the story is just, I mean, yeah, the story could be, I guess that's the one sort of problem, is that the story could be so much grander. But another thing that I like about this is that it's a simple story that can relate to anybody. I mean, it's kind of like how prejudice kind of takes hold of a population where, everybody thinks foxes are sneaky and things like that, and dogs are man's best friend, and then you see that Copper growing into this sort of his place as being the hunter, and he realizes that for his place, it wouldn't be a good idea to be friends with Todd when he's older. And that's just, it's so good. Please tell me you guys have seen Fox and the Hound. Yeah, that's a classic, vintage. It has that old animation that I love. Incredible voice acting. Everything just feels real for talking animals. Number 1. Wolf Children. Probably the only anime movie that I like / seen all the way through. But I can't explain it really. But this movie, I've only seen it probably 2 or 3 times all the way, ever in my life. And I've had it for years and years. And that's because I want to savor these moments. So every time I watch it, I feel the full weight of what's going on. That's how you know that I like a movie, if I don't watch it as much, because I want to savor. But unlike all the other movies, this one doesn't leave you satisfied. In fact, I was kind of mad when I watched the ending, because it ends on a note that didn't really satisfy me. And it's just, oh my goodness. The thing that caught my eye the most when I first watched it was how sad it is in the first 20-30 minutes. It just compounds you with sadness. Oh my goodness. A major character dies, and he doesn't get shot, or he doesn't get murdered or anything like that. It's not a disease either. It was literally his instinct, and he made a fatal mistake. And it gets even sadder than that. Another character watches his body, and because of what he is, he gets taken into I think a trash compactor. And it's raining, she's watching him, and because of what he is, she can't really intervene. So she's with her kids too. They're looking at this, and they don't know what's going on. He's getting crushed in a trash. His body's being crushed in a trash compactor, and it's raining. And it gets even sadder than that when one of there's a crowd who's watching this, who's watching her cry of her best friend being crushed in a trash compactor, and only she knows that because of what he is. And even though they have no idea what's going on, the crowd they put an umbrella over her head, and then scene ends. That's how sad it is. So it's not, if you look at the cover and you think, oh, it's just going to be just a werewolf romance story. It's not. It's totally slice of life. What if this actually happened sort of deal. And we're just watching this single mother just trying to deal with these kids who have no idea what their powers are. And it's just, the emotions are just so genuine. And every time I go to look at the movie, I keep thinking it's a lot sadder than it actually is. And this is kind of clever with how life works, is that you only remember the bad stuff, and then you realize, oh, look at all these good moments that were happening. that's how I felt whenever I would look at this movie, is that I wouldn't want to watch it just because I know how sad it is and I know how bad I'm gonna feel. But then when I do actually watch it, I realize, oh, the majority of the movie is actually pretty happy. And one of the things I like is that you see these little breadcrumbs of things being spread around, these breadcrumbs of plot points, and they slowly make their way until there's probably about one or two confrontations near the end that decide, I guess, that show where this character is leading. Probably my favorite thing is that the wolf children, the son and the daughter, they start off as this character, the other one starts out as this distinct character, and then near the end they're like complete opposites. Like complete opposites of where they were. Like the daughter is, when she's young, she's so hyper. She wants to do so many things with her powers. She's so goofy. She wants to go outside. She wants to socialize. And then the son, he's very shy, timid. He wants to be more human. He wants to be normal, while she wants to be weird. And then over time, the movie slowly works it where they go and opposite in a real way. Like, this is how people learn things, and you slowly see what's going on. Like eventually, the daughter, she learns that it's better to be human for her sanity, while the boy, he starts there's like a scene where he grows his confidence is unleashed, and then he goes outside, he ventures out, and then he realizes, no, I want to be outside. I want to be with my wolf part of myself. And that leads to confrontations and arguments that just, it's just so clever. See, if Spirited Away can get Best Animated Feature, why didn't this movie get it? Because it's so incredible. It's just, just pretty much everything about it is perfect. As much as it doesn't fulfill me in the end, I think that's kind of the best, because it leaves you wanting more, like what happens. And it's just, it's just so good. Oh. But yeah, Wolf Children, easily one of the best. It's one of the best movies, period, ever made. So yeah, top 5 favorite movies. Happy 2021. So many good videos coming up. Stay tuned. Subscribe for more content.